the most expensive island in the Bahamas. The Bahamas has long been known as a premier vacation spot for people around the world. The clear turquoise waters and the luscious green landscapes of the many islands clustered within the country make it a hotspot for the very rich and famous. One of the many districts of the Bahamas, the Exumas, consists of over 365 islands and is regarded as one of the most private and expensive parts of the Bahamas. Many notable celebrities and businessmen, such as Johnny Depp, David Copperfield, and Bernard Arnault, all own private islands in the Exumas, just to show how appealing it is to even the people worth billions who could buy anything on the planet. And from the over 365 luxurious islands within the Exumas, there lies one that is the most coveted, beautiful, and expensive island in all of the Bahamas. I present to you the Blue Island, the most expensive private island in the Bahamas, worth $100 million. And today, we'll be looking at what makes the Blue Island the crown jewel of the Bahamas. We're going to be looking over the three main key factors in determining what makes the Blue Island the most expensive island in the Bahamas: the location, land, and potential, and how all these factors combine to give it a 9-figure price tag. First off, the location. Located in the Bahamas, more specifically the Exumas, which as I said before is the richest and most beautiful part of the Bahamas and long been known as home to some of the most gorgeous waters and beaches in the world, the Blue Island certainly is at the very center of the best of the Bahamas. Not to mention the fact that the island is an easy 20-minute trip by boat to the main island of Exumas, and then it's only 20 miles by car to shopping, restaurants, and the international airport at Georgetown. But proximity to an airport is not that important because the Blue Island is the only private island in the Bahamas which has a jet port, meaning it can land planes up to the size of a business jet on its 5,700-foot-long landing strip. Also impressive is finding the beautiful solitude of the Blue Island in such close proximity to the United States and Europe, being a mere 300 miles from South Florida, 3 hours from New York, 5 hours from Los Angeles, and 11 hours from Moscow. Customs and immigration are also available on the island for a quick, hassle-free arrival and departure. The capital of the Bahamas, Nassau, is only a short 35 miles southeast of the island. This makes Blue Island the most accessible island in the Bahamas. But just as much as it is accessible, it is private as well. After all, there is a reason why Johnny Depp and David Copperfield have islands here, because the only place to escape the paparazzi and commotion is a private island, where the ocean becomes a separator between public life and privacy. Because no matter how rich and famous these celebrities are, there is one thing that normal people have that they never can: privacy. And that is truly a luxury that makes people like David Copperfield splash out $50 million on Musha K, or Tyler Perry dropping $7 million on White Bay K. Really though, who can blame them? Next up, we have the land itself. Blue Island is not only the most expensive private island in the Bahamas, but also the biggest, coming in at 700 acres of pure white sandy beach. The land is abounded with romantic coves, mango and banana trees, and green pastures that make it as much a tropical forest as it is an idyllic beach. There's also miles of trails for hiking and biking, offering you the best views of the island. But at the very heart of Blue Island lies the residence. A gleaming white 6-bedroom house with pristine cut gardens rising from a hilltop that reaches 90 feet above the sea, offering panoramic views of bohemian tropical paradise from the large outdoor terrace. A staff house is next to the main house to offer you complete assistance whenever you'd like, and there is already power, water, and communication systems to power everything to fruition. There's also 4 miles of roads to make transportation from the helipad to the docks to the boat ramp where your yacht is obviously parked, and to the beach mansion as simple as possible. Lastly, we have the potential of Blue Island. In today's world, just about everything on the planet has been discovered, developed, and/or turned into a tourist destination, making a private island in the Exumas extremely alluring to the very rich. According to the listing details of the island, Blue Island could be developed into a private luxury resort. But also be aware that an island of this magnitude could cost up to $200,000 a year in maintenance, depending on what is developed on it. But as one might expect from a bohemian tropical paradise, the income potential on this island is unlimited. The property manager of the island, Steve Donovan, said, "This isn't like any other place on Earth. It's an event, a moment, an emotion, and bragging rights. It's not just the biggest private island in the Bahamas, it's also the most expensive, so business is easily attainable from this island. But not only will you be earning the luxury of privacy, beauty, and potential income, but also residency. Because buyers of property worth at least $1.5 million in the Bahamas are granted the privilege of permanent residency, along with the right to vote in the country. Also, although this island has an insane price tag of $100 million, it is actually not close to the most expensive island in the world. That would be Lanai Island in Hawaii, owned by none other than billionaire Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison. It's worth $610 million and is home to pristine beaches, coconut palm trees, and stunning marine life that is waiting to be explored. In fact, there is already a population with over 3,000 people currently living there, so Mr. Ellison basically owns his own island town. Even though the Blue Island will never be the most expensive island in the world, you can still make it the most expensive island to rent per night. Currently, Banwa Private Island in the Philippines charges $100,000 a night and offers white sandy beaches, plush villas, and plenty of amenities. Each villa has its own infinity pool and hot tub, and a team of chefs will supply food and drinks. Freshly caught fish and newly picked vegetables feature heavily on the menu. But hey, owning the Blue Island is certainly something of itself, and most definitely as luxurious as it gets. And who knows, maybe the future owner could make it even more luxurious than the Banwa Private Island. It certainly has the potential. So tell me, is the Blue Island worth the price tag?